But what I do, I will also continue to do, that I may cut off the opportunity for those who desire an opportunity to be regarded just as we are in the things of which they boast. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers. Watch the word that follows. Transforming themselves into apostles of Christ. And no wonder. No wonder. For Satan himself transforms himself into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also transform themselves into ministers of righteousness, whose end will be according to their works. From verse 13, there's one transforming. Verse 14, there's transform. Verse 15, there is transform. So from verse 13 to 15, one word that is common to all those verses is the word transform. And tonight I'm talking on the subject, the devil stroke Satan, the transformer. Kindly take your seat. The devil, Satan, the transformer. The devil, Satan, the transformer. In the next 25 minutes, lend me your ears. And we come before the throne of the Word of God in all humility, that God will highlight His emphasis to the church tonight, that in these 3 days, you will not just be a partaker, but you will live with your inheritance. It is very interesting that throughout the Old Testament, the devil is not often mentioned. For example, in the entire book of Genesis, there is no mention of the devil. No mention. There's no statement that says the devil or Satan. Is it not shocking? The greatest deception of many people is that the fact that the devil was not explicitly mentioned in Genesis does not in any way mean he was not there. One of the greatest lies the devil ever told humanity is that he does not exist. And one of the greatest lies the devil told the church is that he is equal with God. So many of us have the mindset that, if, like I ask all the time, what is the opposite of God? The opposite of God is not the devil. Everyone who has been in this church for a long time knows that the opposite of God is what? Is God himself. There is nothing opposite God. If anything is opposite God, that thing can fight him. So when you look at God from the left, you see God. If you look at God from the right, you see God. If you look at God from the north, you see God. If you look at God from the south, the east, the west, every part you look at God, God is all encompassing. Therefore, many people have been caught up in the deception that so long as they don't see the devil explicitly in a position, it means that the devil is not available or the devil is not in the picture. But one of the things you should understand, ladies and gentlemen, is the power of the devil to transform. I want you to hear me tonight. Is the power of the enemy to transform. Now, we are dealing with a devil that can transform. The word translated transform is a very strange word. It's the Greek word metasystomatizo, which means to change into another figure, to metamorphose. So you are dealing with an enemy that can change. I don't know if you are here tonight. You are dealing with an enemy that can change. I want you to follow me. You are dealing with an enemy that can change. So if the devil came to church tonight wearing white, and we go and write a book, any white thing you see is the devil, I can assure you tomorrow he's coming wearing orange. If we are not educated enough and we write a book and say that anything that appears in orange is the devil will now appear in white and orange the next day. It means that you are dealing with a consistent enemy who possesses the power to transform. It means that if the enemy comes to you today as a tempter and you are able to overcome him, the next day he will not come as a tempter, he will come as a prince. So the last time, watch this, when Jesus had fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, the word of God said, and the tempter came. Matthew chapter 4, reading from the verse number 1. The Bible said, and the tempter came. The tempter came. So he came as a tempter. But along the line, in John chapter 14, the verse number 30, the Bible said, Jesus said, the prince of this world is coming, but he has nothing in me. So the devil came to Jesus at the beginning of his ministry as a tempter. Are you following? Are you following? He came to tempt him at the beginning of Jesus' ministry, but somewhere in the middle, he did not come as a tempter, he came as a prince. So it means that if your pastor writes a book and limits the activities of the devil to him being a tempter, but he does not teach you that the devil is also a prince, meaning he operates in the territories of the principalities. Are you following? And you only have the idea of the tempter. In the days of temptation, you might overcome. But when that same prince attacks an atmosphere, you might not have the requisite weapons to fight the enemy. Why? Because the only information you have about the devil is that he tempts, but you don't know that the devil possesses the power to influence the atmosphere so that men will begin to do things that they are not naturally going to do. Listen carefully. This will transform your life. We did 3 days a couple of weeks back. Somebody was saying that 3 days has covered this week. It's a lie. Because we are dealing with a consistently transforming devil. Listen carefully. A consistently transforming devil. So if you are not careful, you might think that the word of God is not true. But the problem is not the word of God. The problem with you is the application of the word. Because the devil can appear in diverse forms. The devil has the power to change. Ladies and gentlemen, the devil you fight when you are planning your wedding is not the same devil you fight when you are married. You are not here. I'll catch you tomorrow. The devil you fight when you enter university is not going to remain the same. You see, when you are in the university, we have lovely things. I always used to tell them in the university, you have a place where you can buy ice cream. There are ATM machines. You know, everybody is speaking English. Everybody is trying to behave like they have gone to school. Everybody is trying to behave that they are gentlemen. But when we finish, that's why you know that there were a lot of mad people who were pretending to be gentlemen. Because watch this. The devil who fights the undergrad is not the same devil who fights the graduate. The devil who is, watch this now, the devil who is tempting you to fornicate will not be the same devil who is tempting you to commit adultery. Watch this now. Yes. Now, I know you won't respond, but I'm preaching. Now, watch this. The devil who is fighting the single lady, or who is fighting the single man, his position now is that he feels that maybe things have delayed. So anyone that comes, I can just allow the person into my life because things are delayed. The one that is married has seen another guy or another lady in the workplace, and they are thinking, did I make a mistake? So this one is being tempted in emptiness. He's looking for a husband or a wife. This one already has a husband, already has a wife, but now he's comparing the husband or the wife to the unmarried. The devil that fights the tenant will have to metastasize, will have to transmogrify himself to tempt the landowner. The devil that tempts a presidential candidate will have to transform and enlarge to tempt a certain president. The problem with us is that we confuse stage one devil to mean that even though we have now watch this now watch this now the child, come on, the child in your house is tempted by the devil. At best, the devil is tempting that child to be disobedient. Are you following? That when you speak, the child will not listen. That is the temptation of a child that is dependent on a parent. But the temptation of the parent is not the same, come on now, as the temptation of the child. The child is being tempted to be disobedient, but the father is being tempted to be irresponsible. So the same devil, but different levels of what? Temptation. It means we are dealing with an enemy that has plans for January, but his plans are not the same for February. So if you came for February possessing the gates and you think that you are secured in February, I can assure you we may not meet you in March. I command the church to rise up from your slumber. Shake your neighbor, say, rise up from your slumber. You are dealing with an ever-changing devil. In Revelations 12 verse 9, man of God, I'm tired of prayers. Did that. When is this fasting and prayer going to stop? Till we die. There will never be a season in this church, whether I'm dead or alive, where they will say, now we have entered the realm of no fasting. It will never happen. So the great dragon was cast out, the old serpent called devil and Satan. In this verse you have 4 names: dragon, serpent, devil, Satan. In Genesis they were fighting a serpent, but in Revelation we are fighting a dragon. It means the guy has been eaten. He's changing. You see, this is the secret they have not taught you, that the devil has the ability to change. Yes. So there's a difference between the devil that is tempting your boyfriend and the devil that will tempt your husband. Who that now? So if you pray to convert a boyfriend into a husband and you think that the prayers of let him marry me will work after you are married, I prophesy tonight that somebody's eyes will open. Oh, Manamahaya. When we were on campus, we thought that after coming out of campus, maybe in about 2 or 3 years, the whole world will hear of us. But we realized that the demons on campus that go for lectures are different from the demons that go to the market. We are dealing with an ever-changing. You see, the reason why you are not responding the way you should respond is that the devil is telling you don't take it serious. But tonight, I prophesy, the devil is telling you don't take it serious. I pray that the message will not pass over your head, but it will be implanted in your heart. has said it will be implanted in your heart. We are fighting a changing devil. What do I mean? It means that the devil upgrades himself. The same devil that commanded and conjured Cain to kill Abel is the same devil we are fighting with our mobile phones. Look at me. Before, some of you are not old enough. Before, when you wanted to write a letter, you used to go to typewriters who used to sit under trees. How many of you remember that? Or they used to sit at the corridors of lawyers, and you go and narrate your story, and they will type it and you take it home. The typewriter did not have a correction, so if you type something incorrectly, you superimpose. You have to type the word you wanted over that one, because there was no eraser for the typewriter. Now, if you used to be a typewriter sitting under a tree, and now that people can hold their mobile phones and use Word, use Excel, and you are still sitting under that tree, it means you are unemployed. You see, the problem with many people is that once the devil is upgrading, Christians are lazying around. Kamala Saya, I need a powerful man of God. No, you need a change of mind. The problem is not the man of God, the problem is you. The devil is ever changing. He was a serpent in Genesis, but in Revelations he's a dragon. It means that he did not stay in the garden. The serpent could not fly because serpents don't possess wings. The Bible said, God said, upon thy belly thou shalt crawl. It means that the speed of the devil was reduced. Whatever the devil was made of, he said, on your belly you shall crawl. It means that the speed was reduced, but the devil did not stay where God placed him. By the time we get to Revelations, he said, I saw a wonder, and I saw a woman with a child, and the Bible said the time came for the woman to give birth, and all of a sudden another great wonder appeared in the sky, and the word said the wonder that appeared in the sky was not a serpent. The Bible said, God said, I put enmity between you and the serpent. But in Revelations we did not see the serpent, we saw a dragon. It means the devil had changed the game. I came to prophesy, we are dealing with a devil that can upgrade. So child of God, upgrade your prayer. Child of God, upgrade your fasting. Child of God, upgrade the knowledge you have. He was now a flying dragon. The devil that used to tell you, use your homework fees to buy toffees, will now tell you to be a fraudster that FBI and CIA will look for. When you use your homework fees to buy toffees and you are discovered, the best they can do to you is to give you lashes. But when you are now matured and you decide to do people, you might end up in jail. It means that the consequences of changing the homework fees into toffee is entirely different from becoming a criminal. I prophesy tonight that you will not remain in the childhood nature and let the devil use you for kebab. I prophesy to those who believe tonight that as the devil is upgrading, may God upgrade your prayer, may God upgrade your fasting, may God upgrade your knowledge. May you not fight the devil who is operating digital with analog information. Say, come out, shout, come out. People spend more time on their phone than they spend in church. So if the pastor thinks 2 hours in church would deliver them from the addiction of their phone, it's a mistake. We must take the church and put it on the phone. You are not understand what I'm saying? Yes. The days where children will come home and go and play Ampe and Ludo is over. Now every child knows how to watch YouTube. It means the games have changed. If the church does not upgrade for us to have apps that when our children come home, they can watch the stories of the Bible on the apps, and we leave that to unbelievers. They will convert our children to drug addicts. They will convert them to rapists. They will convert them to armed robbers. I'm prophesying to those who will believe. The church must upgrade. Laziness out, lackadaisical attitude out, laissez-faire out, shout out. Spirits. Sit down. My goodness, I have 15 minutes. Listen. Listen. Throughout the whole day, the Lord has been showing me a technology. I'm going to try and say, if you catch it, that's fine. If you don't, we'll pray. I realize that the transforming power of the devil is very, very serious. The first chapter I discovered is the chapter I called singular transformation. Write it down. Singular. It's not in any book. Singular transformation. What does the preacher mean by singular transformation? Singular transformation is where the devil transforms into an individual. Genesis chapter 4 verse 8. Genesis chapter 4 verse 8. Singular transformation. Genesis chapter 4 verse 8. Now Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass that when we were in the field, that Cain arose up and against Abel his brother and killed him. We don't see the devil here, but the writer, or John, the disciple of Jesus, said that for Cain was of the devil. So here in the case, in Genesis chapter number 4 verse 8, we see a brother killing a brother. Is that true or false? So we don't see any external force. I feel the anointing here coming. Now when people are killing their side chicks, and people are killing their wives, and people are killing their husbands, we are on social media commentating. Is it because the money they gave is too small? Was the girl cheating? Was the guy maltreating? And the psychologists and the psychiatrists are trying to identify, the marriage counselors are trying to find out the reason why somebody was killed. But I came to announce to somebody that there is an enemy behind the scenes. Don't leave me here, follow me. There's an enemy behind the scenes for a brother that came from the same womb to kill his own brother and have no remorse, to the point that God said, where is your brother? He said, am I my brother's keeper? He was not remorseful. He was still questioning God after killing his own brother. How are people doing evil and showing the money on social media? Money anything, money over power, money any day. But they are thieves. They have taken money from somebody's insurance, an old lady's insurance that he have saved to enjoy a pension. They have carried that money and they call it 419. It has been confirmed. It don't confirm. They even have songs that talks about confirm. I confirm, they confirm, we confirm. And we even put those songs, and when we are naming our children, we sing I confirm songs over our children. You are laughing. Even when you are married, you are singing I confirm songs. Songs from criminals, songs from 419 people. I'm getting ready. Songs of evil men and even pastors are dancing to it. I confirm. They have confirmed the stealing of somebody's money, and there is no remorse. We have gone to the studio and we have even recorded a song to put it upon our stealing, and we are enjoying it. Shockingly, when the awards, God punished the devil. When the awards come, they award these same people who are singing evil songs, and they come and complain. Ghana is hard, Accra is hot. I prophesy, Father, deliver us from our hypocrisy, deliver us from our lies. Father, deliver us from our hypocrisy and lies. In John, 1 John, do not be like Cain, who belongs to the devil. In Genesis chapter 4 verse 8, did we see the devil there? It means he was the enemy behind the scene. You are not here. These 3 days we are exposing enemies behind the scene. In Genesis 4 verse 8, Cain killed Abel. In 1 John 3, the verse number 12, the apostle John is saying, when we look by the lens of revelation, the time that Cain got angry, it was the devil. The time that Cain decided to go on the field with his brother, it was the devil. But in Genesis 4 verse 8, we don't see any devil. Why? Because the enemy is always hiding. One of the powers that the devil has used against the church, one of the powers is that he's always hiding. The devil is hiding behind the choir. He's hiding behind the pulpit. He's hiding behind the offering. He's hiding behind the tithe. He's hiding behind our lights. He's hiding behind the microphone. But tonight, let God arise. Let's say tonight, let God arise. Do not be like Cain, who belonged to the evil one and murdered his brother. And why did he murder him? Because his own actions were evil and his brothers were righteous. It means evil men kill righteous men. How can evil men kill righteous men? Evil men kill righteous men when the devil is behind the scenes. So anytime you see evil people chasing down righteous people, the enemy behind the scene is the devil. Tonight, any enemy pursuing your righteousness, I don't know who I'm prophesying to, I stretch my hands over your mother's house, over your father's house. Any evil power behind the scenes trying to kill you as a righteous man, may they catch fire. May they drink their own blood. I say, may they drink their own blood. Singular transformation. The devil entered one man. His name was Cain. Singular transformation. Can we talk about plural transformation? Plural transformation. Genesis chapter number 37, reading from verse 19. Plural transformation. This is where, watch me, everybody lift your. This is where the devil can transform in a group. Singular is when he transforms in one man. But plural transformation is when he transforms himself in a group. Watch this. Then they said to one another, who are those? These are the brothers of Joseph. They said to one another, look, this dreamer is coming. There cometh the dreamer. The next verse. Come therefore, let us now kill him. Now, watch this. Everybody look at me. Now, the devil is not operating between two people. He's not operating behind one man. In Genesis 4 verse 8, he operated behind Cain. In Genesis 37 verse 20, he's operating behind the entire brotherhood of Joseph. It means that the same, watch this, the same devil that can use one man can transform, oh goodness, the same devil that can use one man can transform himself and use a group. From tonight, any group kapantonimi kapaya under the disguise of the devil, any group that the enemy has transformed. I don't like a response. Any group, I don't know, any group, whether they are a group of witches, whether they are groups of hydromancers, whether they are groups of aeromancers, whether they are groups of stargazers, whether they are fetish priest group, whether they are no popo shrine, whether they are, so a devil can operate in a city, he can operate in a town, he can operate in a shrine. But from tonight, any plural transformation or the devil catch fire. As tonight we lift up the sword of God, any group of persons that the devil has transformed inside, tonight let them be exposed. Tonight let them catch fire. Tonight let them be arrested. In your house, any group of witches, may they be arrested. In your family, any group of witches, may they be arrested. Tonight, any group of evil pastors pursuing prayer hub, may they be arrested. Evil pastors in the city of Accra, may they be arrested. Shout arrested. Shout arrested. it means he can operate in one man. But the same devil can operate in a group. So an entire group, he can do it. Transform himself in a group. He needed Cain to kill Abel, but he needed the 10 brothers of Joseph to sell him. So the devil can operate in one person, and the same devil can operate in a group. It is called the power of transformation. Metasystematizo. It has the ability to change figure. So spirits, listen, spirits can duplicate themselves. How many of you have seen a photocopier machine? Spirits can do that. I'm going to show you. Sit down. I have 2 minutes. Plural transformation. I now want to talk about mama. I'm trying to look at exactly how to put it so that I will not waste time. But let me show you the technology. You have singular transformation. Do you have it? Do you have plural transformation? I now want to talk about when the two come together, singular and plural. So, Shumalasia, we have plural in singular. Say plural in singular. That means many in one. Shout many in one. So you can have spirits in multiplicity or in multitudes but living in one person. Mark chapter 5. That is a technology of the spirit. That you can have a multiplicity of spirits living in one man. Mark chapter 5. No, let's start from verse 1. So that they understand. Let's start from verse 1. And they came to the other side of the sea to the country of the Gadarenes. Next verse. And when they had come out of the boat, immediately there met out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit. Singular. Did you see it? With an unclean what? That is what? Singular. Watch this. Next verse. Who had his dwellings amongst the tombs. Watch this. This man was living in the cemetery. His dwelling place was the cemetery. The next verse said, no one could bind him. He was unbindable. Nothing could restrict him. And the Bible said, not even with chains. He had power over chains. That means that he was exhibiting extra human strength. His human strength was beyond human strength. Are you following? Now, the next verse. Because he had often been bound with shackles and chains, and the chains had been pulled apart. He was like Samson. He could pull chains apart. You see, there are some problems that you can never physically handle. You don't put a demon-possessed man in prison. He will You see, there are a lot of demon-possessed people we have kept in prisons. They didn't need the four walls of the prison. They needed deliverance. We try to handle spiritual things with physical antidotes. It won't work. Now, and he pulled them apart, and the shackles broken in pieces. He does not only destroy the chains, he breaks the chains in pieces. Neither could anyone tame him. The next verse. And always night and day he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying out and cutting himself with stones. He was self-inflicting. When you see people who can inflict pain on themselves and they are still walking, they are inflicting pain of alcohol, they are inflicting pain of drug addiction. There is a spirit behind the scenes. Are you following him? If we take the person to Pantine or Amankwah, the best they can do is to make him sleep over time. But there is a spirit that is responsible tonight. Any self-inflicting pain, I command that spirit, be arrested. Be arrested. That's here. Next verse. Come on. Next verse. And when he saw Jesus afar off, he ran and worshipped. Next verse, next verse. And he cried out with a loud voice, what have I to do with thee, Jesus, Son of the Most High? I implore you by God that you do not torment me. Anything tormenting you, you will torment it. The man was being tormented, but when he saw the chief tormentor, the man was begging the spirit, may any spirit tormenting you be tormented by Jesus. Say, Lord, any spirit tormenting my life, torment that spirit, torment that spirit. Next verse. For he said unto him, come out of the man, unclean spirit. Next verse. Then he asked him, what is your name? This is where the revelation is. What is your name? All this time he was dealing with one unclean spirit. Did you see it? The verse 8 said, verse 8. The verse 8, so verse 8. The verse 8, for Jesus was commanding, come out of the man, you unclean what? So he was addressing one man, one spirit. Is that true? The next verse is 9. Next verse 9. And he asked him, what is your name? This is where the revelation comes. He answered and said, my name is Legion. I am the spokesman, but we are many. This is where the plurality of spirits are dwelling in the singularity of man. It means that one man can become a resident holding different spirits. The same man is an alcoholic, he's a rapist, he's a thief, he's a drug addict, he's a liar. And you are wondering, how is this possible? This is where spirits can come by their technology and they can compartmentalize a man's life. And the spirit of murder is hiding with the spirit of drunkenness. The spirit of homosexuality is hiding with the spirit of a rapist. And they are not fighting each other. They are all comfortable in the man. That technology is what I call the plurality of satanic spirit in the singularity of man. I prophesy tonight that you will not become a singular conduit where demons will reside, demons of lies, demons of sexual immorality, demons of gossip, demons of gluttony. I prophesy, may you not live a deceptive life. Tonight, any demon trying to take resident in your life, I serve them their eviction notice. I command them out, out, out. Now, because of time, I want to now reverse it. We have the singularity holding the plurality. That is the plural spirit in a singular vessel. Spirits can transform themselves from many different spirits and enter into one location. Are you following? Are you following? So it means that they are accommodating spirits. There are spirits that are squatters. They share space. Are you following? But then we have the reverse, where one spirit can enter many vessels, and we have one spirit entering what? Come on now, entering what? So we have one spirit entering many vessels, and we have many spirits entering one what? It's a technology. And I'm going to show you one of that technology, then we'll pray. Are you ready? I can hear you. Are you ready? 1 Kings 22, reading from verse 20. Then we're going to lift up prayer. Today we are dealing with the transforming power of darkness. What's this? How many of you know that there are meetings in heaven? A lot of people don't know. The heaven is always holding meetings. People complain. So what do the elders discuss after church? You can become a visiting elder in one on the side and come and say, we allow you to sit. You will know the things we are discussing. Yeah, a visiting elder, like a visiting lecturer or professor. Our meetings don't end. We decide to pause it and continue next week. Because in heaven, there are meetings. Now, watch. This is one of the recorded meetings in heaven. Watch the verse. And the Lord said, who will persuade Ahab? God is asking a question. Who will persuade Ahab to go up, that he may fall at Ramoth Gilead? So no one spoke in this manner, and another spoke in that manner. So one spoke in this manner, and another spoke in the other manner. So they were having a meeting within a meeting, because the Almighty God has thrown a question. the questions of God. Next verse. Next verse. Then, watch this. Then a spirit came forth and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. What spirit? A spirit came before God and said, I will what? I will persuade who? Now the next verse. God was interested. So God said to him, who is the him? The spirit. So the spirit is the him. Are you following tonight? All right. Then God said to the spirit, in what way? How are you going today? So he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And the Lord said, you shall persuade him and also prevail. Go out and do so. So one spirit entered into every prophet that prophesies to Ahab. One spirit. So all the prophets were under the influence of one spirit. That is the technology of spirits. They can compartmentalize themselves as many as they are, and they can live in one vessel. If a spirit comes to a place and he sees many empty places to occupy, but there are no other spirits to occupy, that spirit can duplicate himself and enter every available space. One spirit entered all the multiple prophets that Ahab had. It is called the technology of spirits. So you and your brother can have one spirit. Yeah. So there are some families, all the women, they have one spirit. They don't respect men. Don't laugh. It's a serious thing. No matter how hard you try, if you go to that family, you are not fighting the woman. You are fighting the spirit that has ruled his grandmothers. And all the sisters are operating under one spirit. One. When we are talking about satanic transformation, if all the pastors in the world know this, prayer will not become a burden. It becomes the only breeding point that we have. So stopping one spirit, if a territory is not protected, we're going to pray now. That spirit, so you can have an entire city under one spirit. An entire city, one spirit. And you can have one man with multiple spirits. So one man is sitting in your church with a legion of spirits. A legion is not less than 6,000. Stand to your feet. Stand to your feet. No, first, this is just the beginning. Stand, lift your hands. How many of you are ignited to pray? Or share. So a spirit can enter your house, capture your wife, capture your children, and they will turn against you. That is when you see, if you understand this technology, you know why Jesus gave us power to cast out devils. This is one of the reasons. Have you realized that when you meet people who want to help you, strangely they will be offended and they will leave? It's a spirit. One spirit can duplicate in many people. So when the person sees that somebody has come close to help you, the spirit will duplicate. The person will leave. Another person will come. The same spirit can duplicate and enter the same person. If you don't understand the technology that the devil can transform, you'll be in trouble. Lift your hands. Yeah. We are praying. In the next 10 minutes, every every transformation the devil does is for a certain environment. It means if he is transforming into a tempter, the environment of Jesus was conducive for temptation because he was what? Hungry. If he is coming as a prince, the environment is conducive, so he is coming as a powerful agent that operates with what is inside you. So he came to Jesus, tempting him with what was already inside him. But Jesus said, there is nothing inside me that belongs to the devil. Lift your hands. It means that for every transformation, the devil will need the right atmosphere. Tonight, as we clap our hands and as we lift up prayer, any atmosphere in my life that allows the devil to transform, as we clap our hands, let that atmosphere catch fire. I can't hear you clapping. Any atmosphere in my life that gives the enemy access to transform. Da papala da patoa, Zanta papala kapaya, Raka papaya, Lantala baba. Raka papa, I can hear you. Your prayer is very low. Clap your hands. In the atmosphere, kapapala da bakapaya. Rakapapapa, Rantana Makapaya, Antana Makapinto, Rekapapala Rapa, Rantana Makapa, Rakapapala, Rantababali Papa, Rakapapala Papa, Rapapapala Rapa. Rapapapa, Rakapapa, Rantapapalaba, Ekantalalaba, Antapapa. Clap your hands and pray. Rantalalaba, Rampapaya, Rantapaya, Rantapaya, Rantapaya. Any atmosphere that allows the devil, Antopalalaba, Rapapapaya, Rekapapala, Rantapapa, Rantapalipa, Rantapapaya, Antalagaga, Rantalalaga, Rantapapa, Rampapapa, Rantapapa, 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 Antabalapa, Antatonto, Antontonto, Antonto, Apampapa, Arampapa, Antananamakapa, Rampapa, Antontolo, 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 Antono, Antotonto, Atapampa, 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 Atapampa. Hey, clap your hands. Atapaya, Antalogapaya, Arandabaya, Arandapa, 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 Rapapaneba, Rantapa, 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 Rantada, Antaya, 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 Apapa, 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 Apapaya, 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 Antaya, 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 Ampaya. Rakapapaya, Antala, Antana, 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 Duntaya, 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 Antaya, 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 Ampaya, Antaya, 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 Antaya. Because of the time we are praying till 9, they will close. Listen, the devil kept transforming. At one point, he transformed into Peter. Jesus said, I must go and die in Jerusalem. Peter said, why would you go and die in Jerusalem? Then Jesus said, get thee behind me, Satan. That was the devil. He didn't give up there. Eventually, the devil transformed in Judas. The word Judas is the word Judah in Hebrew, which means praise. So what he did was he attacked the praise of Jesus and converted his praise into betrayal. You didn't catch that? He converted his praise into betrayal. So instead of you praising God, you betray God. That's serious. I don't expect. That's serious. So if you are not, listen, laziness can never fight the devil. Let it be clear. Laziness. We are lifting up. The way some of you are even praying, it's like you are being forced. Listen, sir. The guy didn't give up hope. He attacked Jesus as a baby through Herod. They took Jesus to Egypt. Jesus came back. He came to Jesus as a tempter. When Jesus finished fasting and prayer, he spoke through demons. He spoke through satanic powers. He now entered Peter, the same man that had revelation, and said, don't go and die. It is useless. After Peter, he came to Judas. But for Judas, it ended Jesus on the cross. Lift up your hand. Don't start. Listen, when we are talking about satanic transformation, madam, when this transformation is at work, they can rise up against you. We are lifting prayer tonight that anyone connected to my life, may they not be victims of satanic transformation. As we clap our hands, may the Lord electrify your friends, electrify your family members, electrify your tenants, electrify those in the same house with you. May they not be conduits for satanic transformation. Clap your hands, be aggressive and pray. Tontapaya, Lantona, Cantabaya, Lampaya, Rakapaya, Lantala, Rakapapa, Ratapaya, Dantala, Lantala, Kapapa, Dantaya, 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 Atona, 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 Bonsam, Atona, Atona, Apampa, Atana, Ataya, 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 Atona, 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 Atona. Apana, Ataya, Apana, Father, Atana, Atana, as I pray, Atana, 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 anyone connected to my life, Atana, 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 Atona, Atona, Bonsam, Ata, 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 Ataya, 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 Atona, 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 Atonia, 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 Ata, 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 Atonia, Ata, 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 Atonia, 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 Ata, 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 Atonia, Ataya, 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 Ata, Ata,
Lord, in my life, I break the transforming power of the devil.